Hey everybody, this is Greg, also known as Truth Defender 3288, and today is September 19th, 2008. So basically today, well, this is my very first video. So I was kind of thinking, what should I say on my very first video for Truth Defenders? And I think I know what I'm going to tell. You see, when someone new meets me, I like to tell them about the most important thing that has ever happened to me in my life that I've ever experienced. And although there have been, a lot of things that have happened to me in my lifetime, there was only one thing that truly changed me radically, that changed the course of the rest of my life. Now, some might say that, well, that's your experience, and this thing that changed your life doesn't really pertain to me, but I petition to you saying that quite the opposite, that this can change your life as well. Now, this particular experience was not the thing that changed me. The experience happened, but it wasn't the very thing that changed me. The fact is that instead of an event that changed me, it was rather truth that invaded me. Well, anyway, let me start from the beginning. Basically, my fate was hell. Yeah, I pretty much deserved to go to hell. I still do. I'm a sinner. I sin against the God that created me for the sole purpose of glorifying Him, but I want to glorify myself. That was my sole purpose in life. So here I am on this road to destruction without even knowing it. I thought, oh, well, God doesn't really care about sin and stuff like that. But then something amazing happened. I learned about Jesus. Now, to many, Jesus is just a man or he's just a teacher, but the Bible depicts him very differently. In the Gospels, he's a great teacher, and he says a lot of great things, and you can sticky note, a good message, on your laptop to encourage you throughout the day, but it was more than that. Basically, Jesus fulfilled what the Old Testament prophets talked about. Isaiah 54 is a great example of that, where he's talking about the lamb that would be slain for us, and that he would take on our sin and our iniquity for the redemption of our souls. Redemption is pretty much the idea of buying back, or paying for, or ransoming. Now, I knew that I couldn't pay that ransom. I couldn't pay that redeeming debt, if you will. The truth of the matter is that I didn't even want to pay that debt. I wanted to just live my life. Not let God bother me. But for some reason, He chose to bother me. So 2,000 years ago, on a hill called Golgotha, this prophesied Christ named Jesus took on the sins of the world, took on the wrath of God that was supposed to be pointed at me, and justified me through it. He paid the penalty. He paid the debt. He satisfied God's righteous wrath. Now, that's crazy. Think about that. The God of the universe coming down into His creation, the creation that rebelled against Him, and then redeeming its creation. That's amazing. The crazier thing is that He also came down to redeem me. Me. If you knew me, you'd be like, seriously, God shouldn't have come down to redeem you, Greg. Now, the cross was great, but it didn't just end there. See, Jesus was buried and rose again on the third day, which is even crazier. Just think about it, though. He came down to solve our number one problem, which was our sin, and the fact that we were going to be judged by God. But then he dealt with our second problem, which was death. The very thing that was a result of our fall mainly death and pain, was eventually paid for, and because he rose from the dead, he basically conquered our second problem as well as the first. Now, some of you might be thinking, all right, Greg, you're a little crazy. I mean, why Christianity? Why are you talking about Christ? And I guess the main reason is because Buddha didn't die for my sins. Allah and Muhammad didn't die for my sins. A lot of people who are dead in the ground haven't paid for my sins, but I have a living Savior that has promised me not only to be with Him in heaven, but to just be in His presence. I mean, a lot of people think heaven, you're just going to be saved to go to heaven. Well, what is heaven? Heaven is more than just clouds and harps and whatever people want to say that. In fact, I mean, that would be a living hell for me, being in that kind of a heaven. I mean, just having, one robe covering you and little tiny wings. I mean, kind of weird. But I guess that's a big misnomer. I don't know who thought that up. The real depiction of heaven, at least in the Bible, is merely this. God said to be absent with the body is to be present with the Lord. And so some people go, oh, well, that's nice to hear. I'm present with the Lord. Good thing. But that's heaven. And nothing more, nothing less. And there could be nothing more. I mean, you could say, oh, aren't there amusement rides? Won't you meet your family, in heaven? Aren't there, pleasures in heaven? Well, I present to you that the greatest pleasure in this entire world that we were created to pleasure in is God. And there's no need for any earthly pleasures that would not satisfy, and they don't satisfy here. Why would they satisfy there? So, all that to say is that I'm a Christian. Not so much because, that's the title I want to give myself, but because I'm a Christ follower. And some people take the word Christian and misuse it, but that's what I call myself. So I am a Christ follower. I'm a Christian. And I just wanted to present that to you and even encourage you or even make you think. I mean, what is the afterlife like? Is it important? Does it change what we do now? Is it that imperative? I'd ask you that. See what you think. So, I guess that's about it for this one. Guess I can say more, but I gotta go actually. So if you have any ideas or any comments you want to leave, you can do that. And don't forget to subscribe. All right, have a good day.